You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions with your hosts, Cindy and Grace.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Nice-ish. We have a bunch of things on the schedule for today. We got OC to talk about, Married to Medicine, and some Bravo news about our favorite topic, the Valley, and about Jax.
He's such a mess.
Yeah, he's a hot mess, for
Yes.
sure. But before we get to that, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I have enjoyed every single second of the Olympics.
I know. I'm so sad that it's going to be over here in a couple days, but...
So we don't usually have the TV on much, except in the late evening when we start watching Bravo or MLB when we watch the Dodgers, because they're on super late here. They're on at 10 in the evening. But we turn the TV on the second we get up, and the Olympics are on all day long.
It's just great. There's never nothing to watch.
Yes.
It's always something.
Yeah.
I personally enjoyed the surfing this year.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it got postponed like 3 times.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed
Well, you
that.
can't control Mother Nature.
Yeah, well, you know. Tell her to stop being a bitch and let him surf. But I enjoyed that. Obviously, the gymnastics is always fun to watch. I enjoyed our track and field.
I always love track and field.
All the events I like, too. I mean, I prefer the running, but...
It's just the most exciting.
Yeah.
Because on any given time, someone can just literally have the race of their life and win.
Mm-hmm. Same with swimming. I find them both very similar, whether it's,
Yeah.
interchangeable, kind of.
Yeah, me too. I enjoyed the surfing as well. I laughed my ass off, speaking of asses, when the one surfer got caught up in a wave or something, and then when he popped back up, all we saw was his very white ass.
I know. Well, you know what? Good on the commentators for not even laughing a little bit.
I know.
Just, basically move the camera. Hurry up. Let's go.
How do you ignore it? But they did.
No.
So, I mean, I liked that. I love watching gymnastics as well. I was super excited for the men's gymnastics this time because our women were kind of guaranteed to do well.
Yeah.
But the men didn't know. And to see them so excited over the bronze just was kind of infectious. Everybody was super excited.
I think that's a good thing to see, too, because most people, you just feel like if you don't win gold, then you didn't really win, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get that excited over getting third
Right.
is great, because the other team, I think it was China, who was supposed to win and then got silver, they were disappointed.
Right.
And it's like you see our men who are just so excited.
I know.
So do you have a favorite sport or anything like that you like to watch over anything else?
I don't know. I used to like diving, and then it kind of took a turn for me this Olympics when we were listening to one of the commentators, and she had said that hitting the water was like a car accident at 35 miles per hour.
I know. I heard that too. Yeah, it really was almost instantaneously off-putting.
Right. And so then I'm looking at them, and they're all like 15, 16, 17 years old, and they have their ankles wrapped, and they have their wrists wrapped, and they have back tape, and they have shoulder tape, and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, why would anybody want their kid to even get into this if that's the type of impact your body is taking, and then you're doing this, 500 times a week?
Right. Yeah, and it's probably not, you probably don't have as much of an impact if you're perfect, but how many times does it take you to get it done perfectly?
Right.
I mean, you even see at the Olympics how they
Nobody's
mess
perfect.
up. Well, except those 2 Chinese divers. They were perfect almost every time. But except for those 2, no, you see legs moving all over the place. Like, if you're just the slightest bit off, you're going to feel it.
So I never even thought about that, because I used to really like watching all the different diving ones, the platform, the springboard, all that. And it really kind of turned me off, so I didn't even finish watching that. I enjoy watching the rowing
Oh
and
my
the
gosh, that was
kayaking and all that
so
stuff.
exciting.
The rowing, oh my gosh, it was really good too.
Yeah, our U.S. men's team, the 4 of them.
We go back on Peacock and watch stuff that we've missed too. And you know what I missed that I'm going to go back to watch is the trampoline stuff.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you wanted to, but I am going to.
Well, you know what? That brings me into my next question that I was going to ask you, which is, what is some of your least favorite things or you think maybe could get cut for next Olympics?
I have a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3, and they're all the same answer. And it is breakdancing.
God, it's so bad. There will only be this Olympics and this Olympics only that will have breakdancing in it, because I felt like it was kind of a joke.
It was a huge joke. Like, my brother texts me and he's like, have you seen the Aussie breakdancer in her kangaroo move? And I'm like, what? No, I haven't. So I had to Google it. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Come on. The whole thing. Look, I don't have a problem with certain types of dance being entered. I just think that breakdancing is so subjective.
Yes.
And so,
how does that get a score? Okay.
Unlike ballroom dancing, which there are actual rules that you have to follow, then you can judge someone on that along with their style. But for this, it is literally all style and no rules.
Well,
almost.
Please tell me how you can judge that kangaroo hop. How many points is that worth?
I mean, apparently it's named after her or something. I don't know. Nobody else is going to do it, so it's definitely her move.
Well, you know what's funny is when you see that the breakdancing people who are watching are making fun of you, then it's like, oh my God, if those people are making fun of you, then I don't,
Right, because the world can make fun of you, but if your community thinks you're cool, okay, cool.
Well, and it was so funny because
they turned on her.
Yeah, they turned hard. But it's so funny though because it just seems like the other person is standing there like it's like a dance battle.
Oh,
why did they do that?
I'm sorry. I tweeted out a clip from Camp RHOC, which I thought completely summed up the way
Camp RHOC.
Oh my God! I wish you all could see Grace doing the stupid march in. Yeah, it was kind of dumb, but I don't really have a preference because I like everything. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that I wouldn't watch. I liked watching the bicycling. I thought they really got screwed because it was raining when they started that. Mm-hmm. So there were so many falls. But I like everything.
Well, I think breakdancing can go, and I think handball can go as well.
Well, no offense to basketball. Basketball's great, but the 3-on-3 basketball?
That I don't get either.
I didn't understand the point.
Right. You already have basketball.
Right.
What do we need 3-on-3 for? I don't know. I'm not sure if because basketball is one of the main sports and they wanted to draw more people in by being able to watch more basketball.
Have they ever done that before?
I think they did it the last Olympics.
In Tokyo?
It hasn't been around that long, though. I think they literally just introduced it the last
Was
time.
Tokyo the last Olympics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I don't know. I didn't quite see the point in that, but you know what? People train hard, so whatever. More power to you. I don't care. Add more events. I'm fine with that. Just no more breakdancing.
God, yeah, I know. Let's pick.
I mean, I didn't think I would like skateboarding. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I feel like surfing and skateboarding are kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
If you know how to do one, you probably know how to do the other.
I just wouldn't have to hold my nose because I don't know how to swim very well. I would love to try to be able to surf, but I am the worst swimmer. I do have to hold my nose. I don't know how to breathe out.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to breathe. I wish I was a better swimmer, but I'm not. So I could not surf at all.
Well, and you have to be a great swimmer to swim out in the ocean. Yes. Because it's not even like a pool. You are... Mm-hmm. You're out there, and if nobody's there watching you, you could.
And they've all had broken bones, broken back. One of them had a broken back.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's sharks.
I think the thing that you least have to worry about is a shark for you right now.
What about that one girl whose leg got chewed off?
That was her arm.
Oh.
What her leg? Are you for real? About... You think she can surf without a leg?
Oh, God. I don't know. Let's cut that.
Who cares? Stupid.
Anyway, I know that the closing ceremonies are tomorrow, and I'm sad.
I know.
I love it. It's just summertime. It's so nice out. The days last forever. Sports are on. We're rooting for our teams. I just love it. Mm-hmm. I love everything about it. So I'm sad that it's over because it means summer is kind of starting to wind down too.
Well, we have 4 more years till the next one, and that's going to be in LA though. Mm-hmm. I am super excited for it. I would actually like to go. I don't know if you are interested in that,
we have family out in California, so we'd always have a place to stay. And I just think it would be a zoo.
Yeah.
Like, trying to get from place to place. They already complain about traffic in LA and everywhere in California, so it would be, like, 1,000,000 times worse. But I think if you go, you just got to go in with a good attitude. I might have to wait.
Wait for you to get a good attitude, or what? You'd have to be patient. Can you be patient?
I probably could not.
Okay.
Then
don't go.
If you had a ticket to any gold medal event there, what event would you want to witness the gold medal at? Because I forgot, I didn't even mention beach volleyball or volleyball. I love watching that as well.
Yeah, those are both good too.
But what event would you want to go to?
Well, soccer, the women's gold medal soccer game could be pretty cool. However, I am not a fan of soccer fans. Like, I think it's a lot. Yeah. So even though I would like to see the women, I don't think I would want to go to that. I would probably, anything that Katie Ledecky is in, swimming in, I would like to see. Any relays I like.
Yeah.
Whether it's a swimming relay or a track and field relay, I like those. I think so maybe one of those.
I think for me, those are all over so quickly that I would want something like volleyball, where I'm there for like 2 hours. I don't have to leave. So they play like, unless they win in 2 sets, usually it's, if you win 3 sets, for court volleyball, you win. I think it's 2 sets for beach volleyball. I would love either one of those. I think I would like to go to. Plus, our U.S. teams are usually in the running.
Same with our gymnastics teams, too. The men, not necessarily.
I would probably sell my ticket for a whole lot of money for the women's gymnastics, as much as, I'm not sure Simone would be in it again.
Yeah.
So if she was in it, I'd go. Mm-hmm. But if she's not, I would sell my ticket to pay for all my other events that I go to.
Okay, but let's say this, though. What if Simone wasn't in it, but your ticket, you were sitting right next to Serena Williams, who was at this gymnastics?
I would go see Serena Williams. I wouldn't even go to see the gymnastics. I would meet her. I would look over and I would say to her, "Pardon me, I will never bother you again this entire meet. In fact, I won't even look over at you if I could get a selfie."
Yeah, just one picture.
Just one picture, and I swear I won't breathe in your direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's worth it.
That I would go to. Uh-huh. Yes.
Which reminds me, I didn't even mention tennis at all when we were talking about the other sports. I forgot about that. I probably wouldn't pick tennis to go watch, though. But that one's a long one, too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Being able to sit there and enjoy it and just be there for at least an hour.
Well, I don't think that they would make you for one track and field event and get up and leave. That would
No,
take
you
forever.
could just probably see everything in the stadium scheduled for that day.
Yeah.
But they're over in like 9 seconds, some of these races.
Yeah,
Others are longer, but they're literally minutes only. So, yeah, you'd get to see a lot, but I don't know.
I think if it's possible to go to LA to see something would be a pretty cool thing to say that you went to an Olympics.
You know what? YOLO.
I know.
Right?
Maybe then while I'm there I could get an Olympic tattoo and then people would be like, "Oh my God, you were part of the Olympic?" No. I
You're
just went,
a hopeful.
I'm a hopeful. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I tweeted out a video of the guys who run the remote control cars for the javelin and the like hammer and shot put and stuff.
Yeah.
So after an athlete throws whatever instrument they're using, this little remote control car goes up to the person. They put the javelin in it, and then they drive the remote.
It's awesome.
It is totally awesome. And you have a remote control Barbie car that we were messing around with the other day.
I'm practicing for it. That's my
heaven.
Olympic hopeful. That's what I'm trying to get the job to do.
Me too.
And it's going to be in LA. I don't know who runs the committee for that, but I would like to be on it so I can sit down and watch everything that's going on the track.
You know what you need to do?
No, what do I need to do?
Because you're young enough, you need to walk around in like Olympic gear when you're there. And people will think you're an athlete.
Okay.
So whether it's headband, like USA everything, when you find out what the uniforms look like for whatever, you need to dress up like an athlete.
But how does that get me into what I want to do, though?
Well, no, you'd have to pay to get in. But then...
What does this provide me, though, dressing up as an athlete?
People will want to take pictures with you.
But I don't want to take pictures with other people. I just want to get in and sit in my little chair and drive my car.
Ugh, you're no fun.
How is that not fun? I am having the most fun.
It'd be fun for me.
What sport could I pull off that I could play? Because I can do nothing.
Right. Well, you can't do breakdancing.
God. I would rather not go.
I don't know. You can't run, but you look like you could be a runner.
Maybe softball. That's nice. They're all really pretty. All the runners are really pretty. So pretty. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah. Maybe softball?
Yeah, why not? That'll be in the Olympics.
Yeah, we didn't see softball or baseball, did we?
They didn't put it in this one. They did in Tokyo because baseball's so popular.
Yeah.
But then they are going to for LA. They're going to bring it back.
I'm just sad it's over, but it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been so fun to watch.
4 years is too long. I wish it was every 2.
Same, because I think more people would have a chance to compete longer. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
4 years older
that's
takes a toll on somebody's body.
Uh-huh. And selfishly for us that we would get to see it every 2 years. But yes, I actually get more chances to get a gold medal.
I mean, we get to watch every 2 years the Olympics, but it's, summer, winter. Mm-hmm. And the winter is okay.
Yeah, it's just not the same. I don't know. Maybe because I hate winter to begin with that I'm like, same. I don't care about the Winter Olympics as much. But
I know.
Maybe the figure skating, and that's about it.
Yeah, and that big ski jump. I like that.
I could practice for that using that Wii Fit board. You remember that game? That was so fun.
Well, you have this thing in your room to stretch with.
Oh, yeah, that stretch board. That foot stretch board. That's hilarious.
So you could just go there, stick your arms out.
Perfect form. I'll hang a picture of a mountain in front of it.
And then just stand there. Oh, that would be funny. Oh, God. Yeah. Well, we can't do anything, but
I know.
We can watch.
Yeah.
And complain.
Right. But once the Olympics is over, we'll start getting back into our old shows. All the Bravo stuff we'll keep a closer eye on.
I know.
Nothing really matters when we're watching this. But
I know. Truly. So this week in Bravo News, we're going to talk about the Valley. Lots of different stories going on. We have stuff about Jax and Brittany to talk about. First, Jax's publicist released a story saying that he has checked into an inpatient treatment facility for mental health struggles. Quote, "This is a particularly sensitive time for him and his family, and they ask for privacy and respect until he is ready to speak more on this matter." So I will say that 99.9% of the responses I got were not very favorable.
Okay, I am leaning towards the unfavorable opinion as well, so I'm glad to hear that that's what most people are thinking as well. Also, is this publicist the same publicist who,
Who allegedly hooked up with him? I don't know.
Okay, I didn't...
I will say that Jax has such a terrible reputation for lying.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That everyone's initial reaction was that he was lying again. And so I feel bad that that is what we think initially.
Mm-hmm.
That he's full of shit.
I know.
Everyone who commented did say, if this is true, then good for him. I mean, you always want to keep an eye on your mental health. And if you're struggling, you go for help. So that's a positive.
Yeah. The positive here is that maybe, just maybe, he can become a better person. That is the positive, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Fingers crossed.
Uh-huh.
That's the positive.
Yes.
The negative is that it's Jax. But they're in the middle of filming right now. That's what everybody's kind of questioning. If they're in the middle of filming, are you having a rough time filming? Did you need a break? Are you using this as an excuse? Or did you... I hate people who throw out storylines, but that's what people are saying. He had nothing going on, but...
He has a lot going on, though, actually.
I would agree.
So
I don't know. The whole thing, all we can hope for is that it makes him a better person. I got a tweet from Reality with 3 Ys, Queen, who said, I'm not surprised that this man is all of a sudden crying mental health issues when it just came out that there was a lien for unpaid taxes put on his house that he kicked Brittany and his son out of. Everything he does is so calculated.
Calculated is the exact word that I would use to describe him. I don't think he does anything without a reason or anything that wouldn't benefit him in some way.
I agree. I did not know about the lien.
No,
If I did know, I didn't remember then.
Yeah. No, I don't remember hearing about that.
Because I was thinking Brittany should actually move back into the house while he was gone.
Maybe that's why she moved out. She was like, it's yours. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, you pay those taxes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what it is. A lien on the house because they're unpaid taxes.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, we'll see what happens there. But...
yeah, I don't know. I think Brittany was probably smart for moving out then. If there's all this stuff about their house and, take your kid and just move out and let Jax just deal with it.
Exactly. Speaking of Brittany, she joined TikTok and released her first video with the cast from the Valley. Mm-hmm. Well, the female cast. And there was one noticeable absence from that video. Kristen Doty.
I know. Like, guys, was nobody listening to any of the fans before, like last season? Was nobody listening? Because every single comment under that video was, where is Kristen?
Oh, every comment.
Literally every single one. That's not even an exaggeration. It was that many.
Yes. And she had responded to one person saying something like, she's here, but I think she was kind of referring to filming, like, oh no, Kristen's here. Kristen's part of the cast. But that's not really what people were saying or referring to.
No.
And I don't know if it was because it was around Janet's birthday, if they were celebrating. I'm just sick and tired of it. I really am. I guess you can't control what people do when they're not filming. So if this was a party that they weren't filming and it was for Janet and they just happened to do this video, then it is what it is.
I don't think so. I think it would have had to have been during filming because they are filming at this point. So yeah. I don't see how it couldn't have been for that. And the fact that all the women were just happened to be there together with nobody else, too. It's not like it was a party and they were all there and there were more people. I think it just seemed like it was them. So, like, come on. This is not cool. Yeah. We don't want to see another season of this.
Agreed.
And it's not even like you're like 10 seasons deep where you're like, we got a lot of fractures going on here and, you know, lots of stuff happened. Okay. No.
It's been one.
It's been one. Get over it. Come on. We've had to see people get over things much, much worse than this.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So suck it up and start filming as a group.
Exactly.
All right. Well, then we had something new pop up today with Brittany and Jax, which she deleted immediately. But of course, it doesn't matter.
Grabbed it.
Somebody is always there. Jax, on his Cameo account, had said that all of the proceeds were going towards throat cancer because that's what his father died from. And Brittany, I don't know if she just saw that disclaimer or what, but she put on her Insta story that video and on top of it wrote, just realized Jax has this on his Cameo and it's disgusting because he hasn't donated a dime. FYI Cameo, and she tagged Cameo in it.
Oh my God.
So then apparently deleted it very promptly, like soon. What are your thoughts?
Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he hasn't donated anything.
True.
I mean, if you got a lien on your house, you're probably not donating anything. I would believe that. So that's probably where all the money's going. It's going towards that. Or it's going towards Jax's patio. One of the two. I don't know.
Jax's patio.
Yeah, it's going to one of them.
That's not what it's called, is it?
No, that's what I call it.
Oh, okay.
Because he got
just
the back.
Jax's or something like that.
Right, but it's the back space, so it's like a little patio out there.
Okay, Jax's patio.
Yeah.
Well, we got a tweet from @AshyStew who said, I wonder now if he really is in treatment. Brittany doesn't seem like the kick him when he's down kind of girl. Seems like an odd thing to post if he's a week or two in treatment. That probably was a lie as well.
Yeah, I know. I don't think she would do that either. She doesn't strike me as the type to just do that.
It all comes back to him being a liar. Nobody believing him.
Always. But I don't think so. I don't think he went. He couldn't even go to therapy. You think he's going to a mental health place?
Inpatient?
Yeah, and there's no way.
I agree. I don't know that he has the patience to sit in an inpatient treatment facility.
No.
So, and she's calling him out on it.
Well, yeah, that's why the three of them, the three buffoons of Vanderpump Rules, are all friends. They are literally all the same person. It's like copy and paste.
I would agree. We also got another reply from @SassyRedLola who said, I believe Kristen and Zach reposted it too.
I bet you they did. I don't doubt that.
If I were Dodie, I would post it every day.
I know. Like, you remember when it got deleted? Nope, it's back around.
You know how I tweet good morning every day? Well, this should be Dodie every single day. Oh, Jax is a liar. Oh, Jax is a thief. Oh.
Exactly. God. No, yeah, I don't doubt it that Kristen and Zach would repost it, though. It's
shady
funny.
And it's super funny.
Absolutely. And he's such an ass. So I have no doubt that they're like, whatever, dude. We're Team Brittany anyway. So.
Yeah.
Let's jump in then to this week's episode of Orange County.
It was good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
This season has started out very strong, I think.
I would agree.
So the first part of the episode was still kind of dealing with Heather, Gina, and Katie. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, Heather is still, feel like she's the most mad at Gina out of anybody in this situation, which I can't quite figure out. You had actually tweeted kind of something similar where you said, wait, I thought Gina told Katie not to tell Heather. Why is everyone blaming Gina? That's my question as well. So you got a response back from @Michael_Horn23, and he said, here's my understanding. Gina told Katie off camera not to mention it on camera. But then once Katie mentioned it on camera, Gina told Katie she either needed to tell Heather directly that she's been talking about it, or Gina would tell Heather herself. I guess that could be the problem, but I don't know. Something seems weird to me. I guess I don't feel that Gina did anything wrong in this situation. Do you feel that way?
I do feel that way. I think that the problem was what Katie said about Heather.
Yeah.
Gina didn't say anything about Heather. She didn't gossip about Heather. In fact, she told Katie, look, you're telling me this, but I don't think you should tell anyone else because I don't think it's true and I don't want to be involved. So then Katie goes and tells everyone on the cast but Heather. And so I think at that point, Gina really had no choice but to say, you need to tell Heather or I will because I don't want Heather thinking I'm gossiping about her.
Yeah.
So that if that's what happened, Heather being mad at Gina doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't get it either. And Gina didn't tell Emily. That's how I know that she wasn't doing anything weird or shady.
Yeah.
Because she didn't tell. You would tell your best friend who's on the cast everything no matter what if you didn't care.
That's an excellent point.
So she didn't tell Emily. Emily did not know. There is no way that Gina wanted this to get out there. And I don't know why Katie wouldn't listen to Gina. Gina's been on this show for forever. You are just coming in. Listen to her. You know, she's been doing this for a while.
And then she felt betrayed. You know?
I know.
That was crazy. I actually gave it up to Gina. She laid it out there.
Yeah. I thought that it was a good conversation.
Blunt in that if I'm picking somebody, I'm picking Heather, just so you know.
I know. Yeah. I thought that was a good conversation that the two of them had.
I did too.
I mean, I thought, yeah, it was straightforward and to the point. And like, listen, I don't really get what you're doing. I told you not to say anything. You didn't listen to me. So you're on your own now, man.
Right. And now she still has to deal with the fallout of Heather being mad at her. So Heather needs to get over it. I like Heather.
Yeah.
But she needs to get over it. It's not Gina's fault.
And Gina didn't say any of those things.
Right.
Katie did.
And she doesn't think any of those things either.
Right, exactly. And she doesn't think it either. So don't be mad at Gina because she didn't tell you. She didn't tell you for a reason.
She didn't tell you not to upset you.
Yeah.
And she didn't tell you because she didn't think it. And she didn't tell you because she didn't think it was going to go anywhere.
Yes. That's exactly why.
Exactly.
Shockingly, that was not the most explosive thing in this episode because they everybody on the cast ends up going to dinner. Mm-hmm. And we see Alexis is there too, and Vicky comes in with Shannon.
Yes. Shannon brought reinforcements.
Yeah, I think Shannon clearly felt like she needed a bit of backup here.
Well, apparently she did.
I think she did, yes. Because you had tweeted out a picture here of Kyle Richards with her mouth open, which is funny. And it just said, "My jaw dropped at Tamra. Holy shit." Now, this is in reference to the comment that Tamra made when she was arguing with Shannon about the fact that she flat out just said, "You're an alcoholic."
Because Shannon ordered a drink.
Yes.
It was like from the jump.
Oh,
like
yeah.
They just sat around the table to start ordering drinks and stuff, and she just... This is my issue. I don't necessarily think that Tamra is wrong in a lot of her views on Shannon.
Yeah.
However, she is so brutal in her delivery that it makes everyone completely miss the point and side with Shannon. And it reminds me of Married to Medicine when Dr. Heavenly was talking to her therapist, and her therapist said to her, "Honesty without compassion is brutality." And it sticks in my head every time something like this happens, because Tamra might have been honest, but she was so brutal without showing any bit of compassion that nobody sides with you.
Well, I completely agree with that. That's actually what you got a tweet from @Discountess, which, gotta say, I love that the profile picture is her mugshot, which is hilarious. But Shannon was so wrong for driving drunk, but the way Tamra is behaving is making everyone forget what Shannon did and just focus on how horrible Tamra is. And that, I think, is exactly it. That's exactly the point.
In a nutshell.
Yes.
Because I will say, they made reference to like a timeline here. This was filmed 2 months after Shannon's DUI.
Mm-hmm.
So Shannon ordering a drink 2 months after a DUI and a hit and run and all 3 times illegal and all that stuff, it just kind of shows that she has no control to me over the impulse.
Yeah.
So right there, if Tamra had just been quiet, that action speaks louder than anything Tamra could have or should have said. Because I guarantee you, after this was over and Shannon left, they would have all been shit talking about it. Like, can you believe she ordered a drink? And oh my God, and this and that. But nobody did. It was all, whoa, Tamra, and back off and show some compassion and this and that.
And the problem is too is that your sidekick is Alexis. She's your
your wingman.
Yes, wingman. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's who you have. That's who you have on your side. And Alexis is not who you want.
Lexi.
Oh God, Lexi.
We're changing it up. We're fun. We're breezy.
Yeah. Yes, the only person you have with Alexis or Lexi, whoever was there at the time, that's who you have on your side, who is now dating Shannon's ex-boyfriend. Right. So that is not a great person to have on your side. So I think that is why Emily and Gina kind of leaned towards Shannon in this direction, because I really don't think that she has changed much about her. I don't know what they're talking about. I haven't seen any change from her in any way. So
the thing is, too, is Vicky, I feel like, is a little too lenient.
Yes.
When to say to someone who just had a DUI, go ahead and order a drink, it's fine. I don't consider that supportive. I think it's actually kind of sabotage.
Yeah.
And then you have Tamra way on the other spectrum, who's so aggressively mean about it. Clearly she's been dealing with it for 10 years. I get that.
Yes.
That's the thing. I would be very sympathetic towards the way Tamra feels. And I understand all of that. But she's so aggressive about it that even for me, someone who likes Tamra, I'm turned off.
Yeah.
So you have both spectrums here, too lenient, too harsh, and Shannon has nobody in the middle to kind of tell her the truth in a kinder way.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, the kinder way that we're referring to is literally just talking, I think. Like, it's just not yelling.
Right.
Because honestly, all of Tamra, of what she's saying, if it was just done in a bit of a nicer tone and wrapped in a little bit of a prettier package, I think it could have went better. And then I think Shannon would look like an ass, because it's like, what are you doing? We're trying to help you here, and you look like you're not taking it. And that would look bad on Shannon if that was the case. But because you just completely negated your point. You just went too hard, too fast, and now everybody kind of feels like they have to pick a side on this. And they're like, okay, we'll go with Shannon, I guess. Because I don't think a lot of people are liking Alexis right now. And if Alexis is the only person you have on your side, they're like, yeah, we're jumping over to the other one.
Yeah. I'm not liking... I was super excited when I heard she was coming back, because I thought this was going to be really interesting. And it's been a bit of a bust.
Yeah.
She's looking a bit crazy.
I know. And I don't usually a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, you are saying that you want to be able to talk to Shannon, and then you're like, I have the receipts for everything. Although Alexis actually has real receipts, which is what Gina said. Katie doesn't have anything.
She's just so defensive.
Right. And it's like nobody even said anything to you. It's like we'll be talking about something else and then Alexis pipes in with that. And you're like, what? We're not even talking about. We're not even at that issue yet. We haven't even talked to you. Why are you talking?
Yeah, it's she's a lot.
We have a tweet from @AllisonWarren6 who said, "What about Shannon? Do you think she will seriously sort it out because she is still making excuses and denying and walking off? Typical Shannon move when she doesn't want to hear it. Shannon's the one who has to decide what's best. 10 years watching, thinks she has a problem."
That's kind of, I think, what Tamra's whole point is, but everybody's missing it.
Yeah.
She's been dealing with it for 10 years.
And we're seeing this one big explosive fight too. If I had to deal with something for 10 years, and this is what,
Yeah, I'd have a short
fuse.
Yes, I would have a short fuse as well. It's just so mean.
Yeah.
It's just mean.
Mm-hmm. Although I don't think Vicky can be the one to be like, everybody, that this is disgusting. This is whatever. Like, Vicky.
Yeah.
Stop.
Emily, when she's like, show the Vicky montage of her being mean to people, was brilliant. I don't know how Housewives don't use that all the time.
I know. I would use it constantly. If I was on the show and I needed to prove my point about somebody doing something, I'd be like, please run the montage that I know that we have. And they will do it. Production will do it.
Like, because they're messy like that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really funny. I'm enjoying Emily. Again, I am the minority on a lot of my Housewives picks.
Mm-hmm.
I like Emily a lot. And I understand people are kind of lumping her in with Tamra on things, and they feel like she's being mean as well. And we haven't even seen the sneak peek yet from next week, which I posted today, but nobody's seen it yet, so we're not really going to talk about it. But Emily's getting a lot of hate as well. And I don't know if maybe I can appreciate it more than Tamra's because I find it funny, where I don't find Tamra's funny.
I was going to say maybe it's because it's a more serious topic, but both are kind of pretty serious. So I guess I can't really use that. I don't know. Because, Gina and Emily have both been a little bit mean to Jen here, and with the fact of the paying of her bills and all that stuff, and Ryan paying for stuff.
Right.
I don't know. Do we really want to have a poll about which one's worse here? Is not paying your bill or the, I don't know. Being an alcoholic and drinking and having a drunk driving arrest, or not paying your bills and your boyfriend or fiance is being investigated by the FBI and is an informant. I don't know. Where do we rank that as,
I know. There's so much going on.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's what's so funny too, though, is that we're missing the point. We're just like, oh, they're being mean to these two. Do you know what's going on with these two right now, though? They got a lot of issues here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard because I feel like we're taking Jen and Shannon as the two victims here when I don't really feel like they're much of victims at all.
Well, I think the landlord would say, I'm the victim. I'm paying for this mortgage out of my pocket when someone was living in the house who didn't pay it. So I would consider...
AKA a squatter. That's what you just said.
Well, she offered to leave, right? I mean, if she was a squatter, she'd still be there.
I know. I'm kidding. I actually don't think
I know
she
you
is
are.
either.
Because I like Jen.
Yeah.
I actually like her a lot. I think of Bambi every time I see her because she's got these big eyes and she looks so sad.
Yeah.
And I truly don't think any of this was intentional. I'm sure she's embarrassed.
Yeah.
And so while the jokes at her expense should not be funny, I don't know. Maybe from one poor person to another, I find them funny. I don't know. But I do feel bad for her. I don't know.
Because, again, I get what Gina and Emily are saying here a little bit, like, what are you doing? But it's so mean the way that you're doing it that
Well, that brings up a really interesting point that Gina said Tamra was being mean.
Yeah.
When Gina was just directing hers at a different person.
Oh, yeah. It's literally just... Well, by the way, Jen is such an easy target, can I say? Like, she can't really... She doesn't fight back, really. She doesn't have that,
Killer instinct.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, good. You're picking on Jen. Awesome for you.
You're picking on Bambi. Good for you. You made Bambi cry.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, I'm looking forward to next week, though, and then we'll be able probably to talk a little bit more about Emily and Jen, because that does get a little bit nastier.
That sneak peek.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, the sneak peek is Emily and Heather. They're kind of like shopping around in a store, and they're talking about what happened at the dinner, and it's pretty good. It's really good. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it yet, look on Bravo to find it. Or do you have it posted on your Instagram?
I have it on
Twitter?
both. I have it on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, yeah, so head over there.
And Threads.
Oh, and Threads, okay.
I'm on Threads, too. Plug. Okay, now it's time for our Married to Medicine recap. We are on episode 8 of season 1, and it starts with Jackie talking to her assistant Lakeisha at work about the lemon squeeze and how it went. And she said she walked out and felt like a failure and had the funniest quote, which was, Jesus would have gotten off the cross and said, forget these people. It's kind of a funny visual.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm done. You're not worth it. No. You're not worth it.
I am done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. Then we go to Eugene and Toya, who go over to Cecil and Simone's house, and Toya's telling them all about the lemon squeeze and that she finally found out why Mariah was so mad at her, and it was about Lauren and that children shouldn't be brought into their drama. And it was interesting because Cecil was kind of sticking up for Mariah and the way she feels about it. But Toya brought up a really good point, actually, which was that Mariah had Lauren approach her at Quad's puppy party. So she's like, if you don't want children involved, I'm all for it, but don't send your daughter over to me.
Right. That was disgusting, the way that she did that. And I'm hoping that will get addressed at the reunion. I think it probably will. I highly doubt that they would just skip over that.
Right.
But, yeah, it wasn't great. So, I mean, you say that Mariah tends to, I feel like, backtrack a little bit. Like, she says she doesn't want that, and then she does something else.
Right.
And then she just kind of, I think, acts out of emotion and then forgets what she said, or, like, her own emotions or what she said previously, and then does what she says that she wasn't going to do.
Yeah, she does that a lot. She's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So then we have Quad out with her girlfriends from her wedding. They're all in town, and they all go out for drinks, and she invites Mariah. And the funny thing is they start going in about Dr. Gregory and his squeaky voice. I don't know how many times we've kind of made fun of his squeaky voice.
I know, because it's always a little alarming when you first hear it, like, whenever he starts talking.
Yeah, they actually did a little montage of it, and...
Again, Bravo likes a good montage.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was funny, and I can't imagine hearing him at his peak.
Oh my God.
Squeaking that out.
I know. It's just unusually high. And the fact that I don't think Quad was having it, though. She was not.
She was trying to shut it down.
Yeah. I think she was trying to roll with it a little bit, but she did not look amused at all. No, she didn't.
So then we have Carrie, who is doing a photo shoot to celebrate 20 years of her husband Duncan's practice and of her as CFO. And she invites Mariah to come talk before they go on their wine tasting tour as a group. And she confronts Mariah about calling her a liar and the whole PayPal issue. And Mariah keeps going back and forth saying she paid for the party, then she reversed the charges. So we're not really sure what happened. And at the lemon squeeze, she had called Carrie a liar, saying that she didn't reverse the payment. So here she finally admits that she disputed the payment because she felt she had already paid enough.
Which I don't know what that means. That you paid enough. Well, you either paid what I told you to pay, or that was it. So, right. Or you didn't. I don't know.
And then why do you keep saying you paid then?
Yeah, you didn't. You know that you hit to reverse the check and that to dispute it.
Yes.
So why would you say in front of all the women that you're like, that didn't happen? What are you talking about? I just don't know where she is. She's very hard to follow.
She is.
And I don't know.
I'm finding it hard to like her.
Yeah.
And I want to, but I don't.
Because I can find her funny at times, too.
Mm-hmm.
But it just kind of gets over...
It gets lost in that she's so delusional.
There you go. Yes. Yes.
So at the end of the conversation, though, they both actually apologize. And Carrie says she wants to move on and try to salvage the friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Carrie told her, let's move on. I'm good. You're good. I want to be friends. Will you move on? And she said yes. So,
God.
So they should be starting fresh, right?
That you would think that should be, the conversation was had. We got everything out. You were hurt. I was hurt. We got this whole thing done. Boom. Good.
Because if someone says, I'm good, it means we're not going to bring this up anymore.
Right. And I'm not going to pick at you. And I'm not going to, throw you jabs.
If we have another fight, I will not bring this up and throw it in your face because we said it's done.
Right.
Wishful
you would
thinking.
think. Yeah, you would think.
So then we have a scene with all the women meeting early at Carrie's house because they're getting ready to go on the bus for the wine tasting tour. And Toya and Simone are there first. And Toya shows the women that she brought her pink taser.
Oh, God.
She says if things get rough with Mariah, she won't keep the taser on her long, only about 3 seconds.
I just think it's funny that she feels like she needs it. Like, she is 100% serious. Like, yes, I will use it.
Well, she's like, I'm not going to get physical. I'll just point it no more than 3 seconds.
My God.
She's got a plan. Can't hate a girl with a plan.
Nope.
She also invites all the women to Eugene's launch party for Nomad MD, though she does not invite Quad and Mariah. Good idea, bad idea?
I don't know. I know that Carrie had talked with Mariah, but it doesn't seem like she has talked to Quad or Mariah yet. And they haven't really gotten over anything from the lemon squeeze. So I think as of right now, it probably makes sense that she wouldn't invite the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they had had a conversation, then maybe after that, and however that went.
Right. Well, Mariah and Quad arrive, and then the charter bus gets there, and Quad complains about the size of it, saying, I expected it to be larger.
Which I don't get. There's 6 of you. What size bus did you need for, like, the 6 of you?
It's so dumb. She's just being pokey.
Yeah, I know.
It's a nice charter bus.
I know. Like, what? I don't know. What? You're already starting off the day with a complaint and a poke. And it's just like, you're going to rub everybody the wrong way if you keep doing that.
I mean, Carrie's the one who ordered it. Carrie's the one writing on it. I think if it's good enough for Carrie, then it's fine.
I know, who's fairly hoity-toity, that she's cool with it. So it's fine.
All the women are in the bus, and Carrie wants to play a game where they have to say one nice thing about each other. And Carrie starts saying that Jackie's intelligent and manages to avoid petty BS, which I think is accurate.
I think it's accurate too, but Quad was like you're basically Carrie's kissing her ass. And I'm like, that's the game. That's literally the game, was to say something nice about somebody. Like, how is that? Because I gave you a compliment, now I'm kissing your ass? I didn't understand that.
I didn't either. And I mean, we could talk about her relationship with Mariah.
Like, oh my God, yeah.
But, nobody thinks that because that's your friend and you're loyal to your friend.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's not even like Carrie's all that close with Jackie.
No, I know. It was just like, I'll start with Jackie. I think that, and don't you guys all think that about Jackie too? Yeah. I think that's a pretty fair statement,
I would
for anybody
think so.
to say.
It's fairly universal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Toya's turn, and she says,
oh my God.
Her compliment to Mariah is that Mariah really loves Mariah.
Oh my God.
And so Mariah took it in a good way. I mean, you don't have to take it in a good way because that could mean you're totally just self-absorbed.
Right.
Which is, I think, how she meant it.
Oh, that is 100% how she meant it.
But Mariah's just like, okay, sure, I love myself. If you don't love yourself, that's your problem.
Yeah. So I actually think she took it well and yes. didn't lose her cool or anything. Right. She took the blow, the little dig, and then, kept
She's like,
you're
not going to get to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of you thinking you upset me.
Yeah.
You didn't. I'm fabulous.
Mm-hmm. I'll talk to Quad about it after you leave the bus.
The small little bus.
Yes.
Then all the women get to the winery, and Simone pulls Mariah aside. Mariah said she wouldn't have received criticism from anyone but Simone and was hurt that Simone didn't reach out to her. And Simone finally acknowledges that she didn't know what to say and thought the dust needed to settle, but it was way overdue on her part to talk with Mariah.
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think this was a good conversation and it had to be had. I don't think that Simone necessarily needed to reach out immediately to Mariah. I think Mariah should have been the first one to do that. But I think Mariah likes to like everybody to come to her. And so because Simone didn't, then she feels a type of way about it, which I don't think Simone was doing intentionally at all.
No.
I just think it was kind of like, okay, Toya's going to tell me her side. You're going to tell me yours. And then from there, we'll keep it moving. But the fact that Mariah never called her, I think Simone felt a type of way about that. Yeah, I mean, I think that it was a big deal. And so I think Simone felt a type of way that Mariah didn't talk to her either. I know that Mariah was the one involved in the fight, but I think Mariah probably should have made the rounds a little bit here in the friend group.
I think it's fair to say you want the dust to settle. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
But I don't like that she's putting a lot of the blame on Simone.
Yeah.
It's like she's blaming her for something when all she did was be there when you got into an altercation with someone.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought it was kind of big of Simone to accept some of the responsibility and some of the blame when I didn't feel like she needed to. But I also think she knows how to deal with Mariah, and that's kind of part of being a friend of hers is you got to know how to navigate her friendship.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think Simone was, good about it, and I think she took it and wants to be fine and not think that she's on a certain person's side of any kind. So I think she was probably like, if this is what I have to do, then okay.
Yeah. Well, then Quad pulls Jackie aside and wanted to let her know that the lemon squeeze was not a failure and that all the women couldn't have been on that bus together if they hadn't taken baby steps first at the lemon squeeze, and that it was a small victory. And this really meant a lot to Jackie.
I loved this conversation. I thought it was great to see Quad and Jackie just like one-on-one. I think Quad not that Quad doesn't shine with Mariah there, but like, because they're both, have great personalities.
Right.
But I think Quad can really be a bit softer, not with Mariah there. I think she can be a little bit more compassionate without her there.
She gets along better with everybody.
Gets along, that's exactly it. She gets along better. And I think what she said to Jackie was really just great. Like, don't think of yourself and that whole event as a failure, because I saw that you walked out and I could tell you were upset, and,
yeah, she was very down about it. And actually used the word failure. So I thought it was great, too. I think it meant a lot to Jackie. So meanwhile, Cecil has invited some of the men over to his home to talk things out as well. So it's Cecil, Duncan, Aiden, and Eugene. And Duncan starts by saying to Aiden that looking back, he feels as if he could have handled things better. And he actually apologizes to Aiden.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only thing for me that I think he would owe an apology about was the comment that he was going to divorce Mariah.
Yeah.
But I don't even think they knew that yet. I mean,
No.
I think they wouldn't have seen that until they watched the season back.
Right.
So, you know, that apology would have come at the reunion if they were there. But other than that, I'm not really sure what Duncan's apologizing for, but he extends the olive branch and does so anyway.
Which I thought was good of him to do, big of him to do. If they are trying to get past the situation, I mean, honestly, Mariah and Toya owe the most apologies here out of anybody, and they're the only two that do.
Right.
So I don't really know what everybody else is apologizing for, but okay, you know what? If you just, I feel like sometimes when somebody apologizes to you, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm sorry too. Like, even though, I don't know, it's just a natural response to
well,
be
it
like...
would be natural for most people. Does not come natural to Aiden, because then Eugene asks Aiden if they are okay, and Aiden says, I'm not going to say it's good, bad, whatever. It just is what it is.
I know.
And Eugene says he considers Aiden a friend and doesn't want him thinking that he was trying to hurt him.
Yeah.
And Aiden just replies with, I've moved on. So no apology or anything. And it's kind of annoying. I understand men taking the sides of their wives. The thing is, Eugene wasn't there. So he's going to go off what Toya says.
Yeah.
Aiden was there and saw it and literally pulled her off Toya. And he doesn't think he owes anyone an apology?
This is
Not
why
even Duncan?
I'm so... Well, I think the problem is that Duncan is apologizing for what happened at their house, like the fight in general. And Aiden is thinking, this is about my kid. So I don't even think that they're really talking about that. I think it's like...
They're not even talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
So that's, I think, the problem here. Is that he's thinking, well, this is about Lauren. I'm not going to apologize that this got out there and this type of,
okay.
deal. I do think that you do need to apologize for the fight, though. You were at their house. I don't care. I mean, that's your wife. You need to say, give him something, man. You did do some. You broke some glass. You shattered a couple things there. So.
You seem to be on the same wavelength as Cecil.
Mm-hmm.
Because the scene continues later with Aiden leaving to go to work. And Cecil telling Duncan and Eugene, this was not about the fight. This man is hurt. You can see him sitting there hurt.
I just wish, I think my problem with Mariah and Aiden is they both do this thing where they're going to sit there hurt until you like, hey, what's wrong? Hey, what's up? Hey, do you want to talk?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to talk. Are you sure? Like, you have to pull it out of them until they're, like, ready. But instead, until all that time, they'll make little jabs and they'll keep going. It's like, no. Just tell me what you're hurt about. Either tell me or don't tell me.
We're here right now for this reason.
Yes, this is why we're here. So if you're going to tell me, I would like to know and I would like to hear you say it. Otherwise, you better forget it and we got to keep moving on because
they're just going to stew in it.
Yes. And I think that is the biggest problem for Mariah and Aiden, and that's going to be kind of their biggest problem for every season. They literally forever until they're not on anymore. But, yeah.
Well, we go back to the women on the bus, and they're really tipsy, and Mariah keeps taking little jabs at Toya. So Toya goes over and sits by her and asks, what did I do to you? Like, spell it out. What did I do to you? And Mariah responds with all the Lauren stuff and tells her that an apology doesn't take away the damage that she put out into the universe and that Toya needs to accept responsibility for it. Jackie asks Toya if she acknowledges that Mariah is hurt. And she says, yes, absolutely, and apologizes to Mariah for causing any friction in her household with her child. So then they hug.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they actually hug.
Yeah, I know.
Which was, I thought, a big moment. Whether or not Mariah was there in that moment, feeling forgiveness, I think hugging was good anyway.
Yeah.
Because it literally will get you to that next step eventually, even if you're not there in the moment. I'll just hug her, and I will pretend I'm here right now because eventually I may get here.
Yeah. I had there was so much potential for this talk to be the end and for this talk to move everything forward. I thought it was great. I thought everything was spelled out. They got through everything. Mariah got to say what she wanted to say.
Yep.
Toya said everything that she needed to say, and it was all done. I was so hoping. So close. And then next week, it just falls apart again. I'm like, no, why? We were there. We made it there.
1 step forward,
2 steps back. Literally. God.
Because, yes, in the coming attractions, we see that Mariah and Quad start taking some nasty jabs at Carrie. And Carrie is a bit shell-shocked.
I know. I don't think she knows what, like, wait, what?
She has that kind of sweet, awkward smile where she doesn't know if you're joking or if you're being mean. She's
right, yeah. Like,
kind of smiles like, I know they're making fun of me, but is it mean-spirited or is this supposed to be,
right, because we said we were
included?
Good. Yeah, because, yeah, I know. Am I included in this joke? Because I don't know. Yeah. And then it's just like, we see Mariah backtracking.
Yeah.
Like, now I don't know, because she's walking with her mom, Lucy, and they're talking, and then somehow she mentions in that scene for next week about that she thinks Carrie is worse than Toya, which I don't know where that threw me off too.
Yeah, she calls her fake. Everything about her fake.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, wait.
Lucy is a horrible influence on Mariah.
I think that's part of
Mariah
it, though.
could get over so many other things if she didn't have her sister and her mom, both, who are talking in her ear saying, why would you forgive her? Why would you anything? So, yeah, it's kind of rough. Simone's standing there, too, in the coming attraction. She's watching Mariah say these things to Carrie, and she's got her mouth open, kind of like, huh?
I know.
Like, how did we get here? We just literally just settled this.
That's why I feel like Mariah doesn't remember, like, what happened before. Like, do you remember that you talked to her and that you guys were supposed to be good?
Yeah.
And do you remember that you talked to Toya and you thought you were supposed to be good? Now, maybe after this conversation, Toya should have been, like, invited both Quad and Mariah to the Nomad MD thing. That party that's going to happen.
Oh, right.
I mean, maybe the thing to completely smooth everything over could have been Toya inviting Quad and Mariah to the Nomad MD event. It could have been an easier way to be like, hey, we're good.
I agree. It could have been an olive branch. And I know that we're not there yet, but I'm going to trust you. I want to move forward. And this is my way of saying, come celebrate with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stand over there. I'll stand over here.
Right, yeah. We won't get too close.
Yeah. But come.
Yeah. So I think that probably should have happened.
Yeah.
And it didn't, but...
No, it won't.
It won't. Yeah, exactly. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to episode 9.
Thanks for listening to Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nice-ish Podcast or at LoveCindyC. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thank you for listening and have a nice-ish day.